Sweet, sweet fantasy. Oh my God, it's so electric, unexpected. Oh my God, this feels so reckless. Drop my defenses. You got that good vibe. You give me that good vibe all night. You get me so high, so high. You give me that good vibe, alright. You got that good vibe. You give me that good vibe, all night. You get me so high, so high. You give me that good vibe, alright. You know what you do to me. Got me feeling helpless, no remedy. It's like I'm living in a movie scene, and I can't deny this chemistry. Oh my God, it's so electric.
Hey,
Unexpected.
what are they? It's getting too loud. Why is this thing so loud?
This feels so reckless.
Just when I think I figured out the sound for this thing, it goes and then becomes crazy. Let me see something. Need to stop that. Need to try this. Let me get this audio right. Nope. Just have to do it manually then. Brother, happy Friday. Come today with another story of how I thought today was Thursday. Oh man, my life. I'm having the time of my life. For some reason, I was stuck in this loop yesterday, thinking yesterday was Wednesday. Even though my hours at work showed that it was 70 something hours, which means that I have just one more day to work. I thought it was Wednesday. And so yesterday I stayed up till about 2:30 a.m. in a room on Clubhouse, having the time of my life, only to find out that I was supposed to have been sleeping a long time earlier. So here we are. And I almost snoozed my alarm this morning. But for some reason I had this thought that went like, you snooze, you lose. And I've really been working on getting up early, even when I don't sleep early, because I need to figure out how to sleep early so that I can wake up earlier. But yeah, how are you doing, Brother? What's up on your end? Today we're going to go back in time a little bit. I don't even know how that's going to look like, but I'm wanting to think. I put up a post on my Instagram yesterday, and I really want to see what your thoughts are on things that you wish you knew 10 years ago about yourself. So I don't know what that will sound like. I don't know what that will look like. Curious. I'm curious to see. Which club is that? I've been on Clubhouse in a while. Yeah, it's a club that I don't normally go to, but for some reason yesterday when I finished work, I was like, what are these guys talking about? And I got in there and I got very passionate about the subject. They were talking about was something related to relationships, best friends, genders. Like it was different. It was a topic that I'm personally interested in because I have my new perspective on these things. So yeah, it was fun to just engage in the ideas and just see how people see different things. And I've been learning a lot about human nature. So for me, it's like the whole idea, the whole world is like a big sandbox for me. So I get to experiment and I just get to observe people, listen to them. Yeah, it's called Congo Saba. It's predominantly, not mainly. I don't know, maybe I'm just my perspective is skewed, but it's a predominantly Cameroonian club. But I do think that I could be wrong because I don't spend a lot of time there, so I'm not very sure. Yeah. Do you have any plans to Any plan in the future to invite friends to join your life to make your life more interactive? Given that I schedule these things at this particular time, I don't know. I feel like I should, but then I don't because first of all, I wake up early. Oh, sorry, late. I schedule them. I don't schedule them ahead of time. But I should probably put a call to action to get people to find out about this. The way I've been doing it, I think part of me just enjoys that it's not yet big, so that I can actually have a sort of interaction because having too many people will actually make me feel less likely to do it. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I prefer to be able to know that we're having sort of a conversation, you and I, than to have that's just an excuse. But maybe I should actually. Right, I should actually put a call to invite and send people let them know that I'm going to be doing this live. I don't know. I think the way I'm thinking about it, I want to just build this time so that people would know that this time is what is happening. And so the way I can focus on that, so I cannot control people show up, but I can control if I show up at the time that I said I was going to show up. And I came up late today, so I'm like, if somebody was expecting it at 9:30 and they come at 9:40 and it's not there, then it's on me. So I probably should do that. All right, you're very correct. So what are you up to this morning or this afternoon on in the UK? What is this? To close this. I get distracted very easily from things on my computer. So if I don't close tabs, if I don't close apps, that's why I don't like seeing notifications. When I see like any notifications, oh, you did say join. You know what? I completely forgot about. I thought you were talking about what's it called? Joint. I've done it before actually, and usually I used to do it I used to bring it up, and most people were like, "Yeah, we're not interested," or they didn't actually say they were not interested. It was more like they don't. They. I used to do it a lot when I started, and then people didn't bite, so I was like, I guess they don't want it. So, yeah, definitely, let's do it, Masa. I put a link in there. Definitely works. I'm honored to do that. Like, I think I totally misunderstood what you meant. Yesterday we stopped. Yesterday we quit sugar of all kinds. So now we drink sugarless coffee because adulthood and weight loss. I don't like the color of this. Let me see if I can change this. It's supposed to be on standard. Auto white balance, yes. And then when you pop in, I'll be able to see you. And for anybody else who's watching, if you'd like to join me live, there's a link in the comment section. I used to do this in the beginning and then I stopped because I was like, I don't think people want to join me and talk about things. So I'm more than happy to have you here. You can hop in on the live, you can chat, you can bounce ideas, you can chill. And I am trying to find a color scheme for my camera. I don't like this color right now. Hey, you are here. Let me know when you're ready so I can just do a thumbs up when you're ready and I'll just put you in. Cool. Brother.
Hello, how are you?
I am having a swell time trying to wake up. I'm literally trying to wake up right now.
Right, good to join you live.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw your question and I did not understand I missed completely because I thought you were saying invite people to watch the stream live instead of inviting people to join live.
No. Yeah, I mean sometimes it's good to kind of like chat and do text message but sometimes it's actually really not nice to just talk and I mean not everybody. I think a lot of people are scared of camera and they don't really want to. So, but I mean, you're possibly going to get some people that join your live and they don't mind to come and have a chat with you. The specific topic you're talking about, so they just can give their view on
Yeah.
what they think, and and then they can ask you question as well.
That
I
is
guess you
true.
don't mind.
I never mind. They wake me up in the middle of the night. I'm ready to answer questions. So, for those who be watching this, maybe live replay and who don't know who you are, of course, you have a YouTube channel, but you're more than a YouTuber. So, if you can give, just a brief introduction, this is not a podcast interview because I could go for days talking with you.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
and then your perspective.
Yeah, so my real name is Ayene, and I go by I am African with a K on YouTube. So I got a channel as well. So called I am African, and I do educative and informative content about Africa, various things that has to do with African culture, history, and tourism. Yeah, everything about Africa really. But I tend to go a little bit towards analytics recently. That's what I've just noticed the last few videos I've done. And my day job actually is data analysis. So maybe that
Yeah,
might
it's
be kind of
expected
like
then.
advantage. Yeah. So
So,
yeah,
what else?
a friend of this channel.
Yeah, we've been interacting in each other's comment section and watching each other's lives. So I'm very grateful to have you here today.
Mm.
It's always cool. Like for me, when I do live streams, I just want to have one person. I used to have this mindset that I need like hundreds of thousands or many people jumping in and watching. But then I changed my mind to if I can have one person who is interested in it who actually get something out of it, then I've succeeded. So
Mm.
yeah, so I'm glad to have you here today, man. And
Yeah.
what is do you have any takes on the subject, which is what are some
Actually,
of the
I
things?
haven't even really. I didn't really
Oh,
look at the topic.
okay.
I just saw
The
the
notification.
message that you're live, and then I just thought, let me just join for a few
Oh,
minutes.
thank you, Master. Thank you very much. So the topic is what would you tell yourself about yourself 10 years ago?
Whew, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Like it's like a time travel exercise. I mean, I don't think there's any right or wrong exercise. It's more like right or wrong answer. It's
Um,
yeah.
I think it's just going to depend on maybe different aspect of life, I guess.
What comes to your
So,
mind first?
well, I think what comes to my mind first is it's because that 10 years ago. So that's about the time when I've done few years living in the UK. So I would say maybe get a bit more information about a lot more things based on what I know now. So let me just be specific. For example, like investing in stock and share or managing money. So at the time, it was like the brain just clouded about how to get set to immigration application and all of that, or the requirement changing. But even with others at that time, I would have actually opened a story brokerage account with a stockbroker and start kind of like, even if it is like just £50 a week or £20 a week, I would have
Yeah.
been putting in, so which would have make a lot more difference now.
Yeah.
So but by the time I got to know, because before I used to think like, oh, you need a lot of money to be able to start, but now knowing what I know now, I would have like, maybe
So
I
a
should
long
have
time
started doing
ago.
it
Yeah.
long time
Educate
ago.
educate me a little bit on because when you said 50 pounds, my mind went to like, is quid the same as pound or it's not? When people say 50 quid or 20 quid, like
Oh,
is
50
it
quid. Quid is just the kind of like a general,
like a
like a
slang code?
slang. Yeah, it's still, yeah, it's still kind of like pound. So, but people
Okay.
tend to make it up like a slang.
All right.
So, but yeah.
I have before I don't know if you have any questions for me, but I have one more question for you, which is how are you able to
Okay.
handle all of this? Because I know you're also a dad. I know you also work, and I know you do all this YouTube. Like, how do you
Uh,
manage all of it and being in a new country? I mean, you've been there for a while, so maybe that one is a
yeah.
little bit far away from the mind. But yeah, how do you do it?
I think it just had to do with it has to do with grit. or yeah, so, and then I think there are some unfair advantage. So we all do have unfair advantage in life. So
What are some of yours?
it's just different. So one of my unfair advantages is waking up early. So I wake up early without
What
alarm.
time?
Without alarm.
What time do you wake up on average?
Where and my own waking up early is just it's kind of like a time range, and then it just depends on when I go to bed. But it doesn't really matter what time I go to bed. I get up naturally by 6. So, but if I go to bed on time, like say maybe like 10 o'clock, then it's almost 100% certain that I'm going to get up by 5. So, and I get up without feeling like, oh, it's like a difficult thing. It's not. It's just been like that since when I was in boarding school, in secondary school, and
Oh,
in
you went
high
to boarding
school.
school?
Yeah, so since high school
Me
days.
too,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Okay, so it's been like that. So and I think that is a kind of like a very good advantage for me because I
Yeah,
can use.
that's a superpower because I every day that I have to wake up, I have to tell myself the night before that time that you have to
Mm,
wake up at this time. I'll set my alarm clock. I'll plan everything I need to do because if I don't do that, then when I wake up, I'll be tempted to want to sleep again, especially if I wake up earlier than I was supposed to.
mm.
And yeah, do you have any? I don't say you have any tips or tricks, but since your natural advantage, you're probably like, that's what I do. So
I think it's the even the whatever thing we don't do that we like to do. There's still always a way to kind of like incorporate it into our life in terms of like just start it a
yeah,
little bit, and then slowly get into it. Like for example, I remember I do run as well. So I remember at the time in my life that I can't even do walking, let alone running or workout. So and then it started from just literally Saturday morning. I just get my shoe and just do a kind of sort of like a walk,
yeah, like a brisk
just
walk.
go a walk, and then before you know it, and then there's something about when you are in motion, something magical happens. So because when you take a very small step, and then you're just going to, I don't know, some people call it universe, some people, if you're Christian, say maybe Holy Spirit or whatever, we just bring things your way that we make what you want to do to come to pass. So like that example of walking, I'll just go for a walk. And then one day at work, I just saw one of my colleagues who at lunchtime he will carry a bag and then go out. And one day I just asked him like, why do you always go like that with your bag on your back? And then he said, oh, he goes running. Oh, running at lunchtime? He said, yes. Oh, I was like, how is that? He said, oh, either you can join me if you want. And yeah, and then I kind of like said, oh, I've been trying to go running, but I haven't really make it happen. They say, yeah, I'll just encourage you. So that's just an example of,
How
I
many
mean, it
years
could be
ago was
anything.
that?
Sorry?
How many years ago was this conversation
Oh, that
going
was like 7 years ago.
on? Oh,
Yeah. So, but it's just like anything really. So once you make a baby step, something will just happen along the way that
yeah,
will make what you want to achieve to come to pass.
that is so cool.
And I think I've had you mention flow before.
Yeah, I did a
Um,
reaction with Corty's video where she talked about
okay,
flow.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think flow is something as well that when we're in flow, we need to recognize when we are, and then take advantage of that period. Um,
yeah. Do you have any tips, any tricks? Maybe not tricks, but maybe from your perspective, because I know from your story that you do a lot of things and you're willing to fail and you try things and you're always experimenting and you're always working. Like you're
mm,
never satisfied, which for some people they'll think that is dangerous, but I think it's a really cool thing. Like life is so huge that you should die unsatisfied because it's like, oh, I wish I did this, but okay, So I'm just curious if you have any tips for people who want to do a lot but they feel like they don't have the time, they don't have the energy, they don't have the unfair advantage to
mm.
do those things. Like, what would you say to somebody like me who is like, all right, I want to do all this stuff, but I feel like I'm not able to handle it?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think it's just all about that it's good to try various things, especially for people that are young. I mean, I'm still young as well. I'm still
Yeah,
young anyway,
but really
but
take
but,
it.
but I'm in my early 40s. So, but
I want to look like
what?
you when I'm in my early 40s. I want to look
Okay.
like I was assuming you're like your late 30s or something. I should
So,
say.
but especially for people that are really young, they are
Yeah,
is really the young people really need to try a lot of things, because when you try various things, then you are able to, because you have the time, then you're able
yeah,
to know what works. So and I think that's the thing, really try various things, because you're always going to see the one that works. It's almost like creating YouTube videos,
yeah.
so
You
you
throw so many.
yeah, you just realize that, oh, this kind of video is actually working, is one that people like, and then you can do more of that. Yeah, so and then in life, really, most of the time, well, some people are lucky to just know, to just get to start something, and then they just walk straight away, and then they can run with it. But
Yeah,
most of the time, you almost likely to do various things first, and then you can then be able to recognize
I agree.
um, which part specifically to
It's for
follow.
you.
But I think it's just like there's no substitute to hard work anyway. I think I've had you mention it as well. Like, you can get
Yeah,
all the motivation you want, but if you don't put in the work,
it's not going to happen.
it's
Like
not. It's not.
I like to revise to check my ideas with people because one of the bubbles that I'm personally afraid of is that I read all these books and I consume all this content and I suddenly think that I'm smart because I have all these ideas from other people in my head, and I always like to check with real people in the real world who are living real lives to make sure that I'm not just getting high on my own supply, as I say.
Mhm.
So that's why I always ask, because I want to see, like, am I on the same page? Am I missing something? That's what I always ask these questions. Even when I think one way, I would want to find out, like, okay, what does Ade think really, not just like what did we read in the book. Yeah,
I think what you said actually makes me to talk about kind of like mastermind or
yeah,
collaboration, or whatever the right English to use. It's
yeah,
really very important, so, because nobody really knows everything in life.
yeah,
You're always going to it's always nice to have other people's opinion about what you are creating, if you are creating something. I mean,
yeah,
all of us, we are created by God to be a creator as well.
yeah,
So everyone, like, you always should create something anyway. So, and it's always nice to not just stay in your own box and thinking, oh, everything is fine. It's
yeah,
always good to connect, and that's why I kind of like, and to make the move. So, because sometimes people that you might be looking at somebody and thinking, oh, maybe they're supposed to make the move, but sometimes maybe you make the move first and then see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah, so so
Which you
just to
did, yeah. I'm grateful for that move because there's something I actually sent an email yesterday to another creator on YouTube that I've been wanting to connect with him for months. There are a couple of people that stand out, in the way they create their content, the way they interact, where I'm like, I feel like we'll have a great conversation one on one, not necessarily
mm,
collab and make videos, more like this is a cool person that I want to meet in the real
mm,
world. And yesterday I just sent this brief email. I don't know if he's going to reply, but it was one of those things that when I was journaling in the morning, I remembered, oh, I need to do this thing. So I just stopped, sent the email, and then came back and continued. And I think it's something that when you say making the first move, I think it's really important to not wait for the other person to do it. Sometimes it's just we have to do it ourselves because it's cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. And also, just to with what you said as well, like, sometimes we get scared about something, about making the move as well, or asking, because if you don't ask, and I can't remember where I've had this before, that
the answer is always
the answer is
no.
always no. Yeah,
Yeah,
so the
that's
answer
a
is always no.
really
So you just ask
thank you for
anyway.
that.
So, and then
Yeah,
see what happens. So, and
yeah,
then also the law of average as well. Like, you just have to, well, going back to trying various things. Also, you just have to say you are trying to collaborate. You just have to send around to as many as you think have the same kind of like the same kind of like that you think you connect with. Just
yeah,
try and send, almost like applying for a job as well. Like
I
you
was
just have
just
to apply
about to say
for
that.
as many as
Yeah.
possible. And so you're not going to apply for 2 or 3 and thinking, oh yeah, that's it now. You just have to apply for as many as possible. And there's something really very powerful in the Think and Grow Rich about the fact that a lot of people quit when they are really very close to to their breakthrough. So you just have to. Right,
going.
I need to get head out now for some football.
All right, no problem at all. I'm sure you're
Very
always right
very
there.
nice. So I really appreciate
You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming out. This is
Okay.
got me to think. Yeah.
Just
Enjoy your day.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you so much, Ade. I'm grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful for your time, being able to hang out here and just bounce ideas and really get a better perspective of things, because sometimes I get stuck in my own head with my own ideas and I think that I'm so smart. That's why I love having conversations with people who can actually, make it clear to me where I'm wrong. Not necessarily like, oh yeah, you're wrong, or you're evil, or you're dumb. It's more like being able to walk somebody through to get them to see your perspective. I think it's way more difficult. People don't realize how difficult it is to get people on your side. How much effort it is to restrain yourself from saying things. I mean, it happens to me all the time, where, let me say, I'm having a conversation with somebody and I think they're wrong. Or not even that I know, like I just think they're wrong because I have a particular perspective. We find it very hard, I think, as human beings, to pause our own thoughts, to pause our own view of the world, and then take the other person's view. It's so hard. Something that I'm working on a regular basis, that I want to do as actively as possible, to be able to leave my own thoughts and listen to the person. Even as I was talking about it just now, I was trying to do it in my head. Like it was like, be present, be present, be here. So yeah, just to recap what Ade said about what he wished he had learned. He wished he started investing a little bit earlier. Well, not a little bit, like 10 years ago. He wished he had started doing the investing a long time before today, because that was when he had just moved to the UK. He was just getting things started out. And yeah, so I mean, if I could answer the question myself, what do I wish I knew about myself 10 years ago? 10 years ago, that was 2011. Wow, that was just when I was going to start college for the 3rd time. Because I started in 2012. It's 2012 that I finally did it. I finally put my foot on the ground and I told my parents, I'm going to go and study journalism. And my dad was like, what? Who? When? Why? Where is this coming from? Because I'd done medical laboratory science. Actually, I'd done biochemistry. That did not work out because I quit after a year. I'd done medical laboratory science. That did not work out. I quit after 3 years. And journalism, I still remember, whenever I tell the story, I still remember calling my buddy Hamlet, still friends to this day. Hamlet was at the time, he was doing a double majors in women and gender studies and journalism. And I was like, hey Hamlet, what do you need to get into GMC? Right? And Hamlet, oh, I'm getting a phone call from B. Looks like I can't pick this call now. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, is it Friday? Yes, it is Friday. I mean, it wasn't Friday, I wouldn't do that actually. Oh, B, I will call you in a bit. So, here is the question that we have. 10 years ago, my phone is ringing, so my hand is vibrating and it's just distracting me. I think I'll just have to wait for it to come up. Or I should just text her. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, 2 missed calls. Jesus. All right, let's finish this live stream and get to the real world, because we have a lot of people who are waiting on Camguy to do his thing. Have you ever seen somebody who talks about themselves in the 3rd person? Michael, I've been waiting for you. Now I can end the stream. You're the one person I'm waiting for. Good morning, brother. Good morning. How are you feeling today? I had a day earlier. I am African. He was here. He actually came on the stream. We'll talk a little bit. By the way, the link you see above on the comment section. I think if I'm on YouTube, then it should be this way. Yeah. There's a link there. If you want to join me live and talk, just click the link and pop in. It's good to see you, brother. I started late today because for some reason I thought today was Thursday. So I slept till 9:15 because I was up till 2:30. You're good. That's awesome. I'm still waking up, trying to wake myself up here with a cup of coffee, which I should not be doing. But then, because of my, I don't say my new diet, my new schedule, it's part of my morning. I don't eat in the morning. I eat like once a day. So having a cup of coffee helps me run throughout the day. Well, not like run. It's more like use the energy. Today we're talking about things you wish you knew or you could tell yourself 10 years ago from today. And I was in the middle of sharing my own story. About 10 years ago, I was just about to get to journalism school. I think one thing I would tell myself that I wish I knew was write more. Like write more than you think that you can write. Because I started my blog around that time actually. That was around the time that I met this writer, James Altucher, who basically changed my perspective of writing. And if I could tell myself something that I wish I knew about myself was that I was capable of writing more. Maybe not necessarily better, but more, because I am probably one of those people, not probably, I'm one of those people who believes that quantity can lead to quality. That it can do more of something and you're intentional about improving and you can actually get better. So that's why I don't feel very happy about my YouTube channel, because I feel like I could do more videos. I'm not doing as many videos as I could to grow. So it bugs me a lot when I don't upload. It bugs me when I don't show up as regularly as I would have scheduled. But then it's not like I intentionally do it. It's more like life happens and then priorities shift and I have to make a decision. Like, are you going to do this or are you going to do that? And the two things are, equally important. I have to choose one out of the two. So yeah. So Michael, what do you wish you could tell yourself from 10 years ago? Do you have anything that you wanted to? Is there anything that you think you could? What are your thoughts on the subject? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Let me respond to this message while we're here. Let me message be real quick. I'll call you in 30 minutes. All right, let me respond to this. Cool. Okay. Someone asked me for the advice who was a junior med student. I felt like I was advising myself. Man, Michael, this is going to be a curious request. Can you come? Oh, there you are. Abera, device is not connected. If you're hopping in here, it shows that you're not connected. Uh-oh. Someone tried to join in. Unfortunately, he was not able to. All right, cool. I said to him, don't stress, but is that really something? Man, I feel like doctors have the hardest time when it comes to educationally speaking. I mean, you have people who always lump, doctors, lawyers. Oh, that was you, yeah. You might want to try with it could work with your phone, it could work with your computer, whatever device you want to use, you can put it there, it will work. Yeah. Yeah, there was a time when I thought I wanted to be a doctor because when you're, I don't know, born and raised in the continent, I don't know about other countries, but for Cameroon, it's like you're either a doctor or a lawyer or something. I don't know if lawyer works for American culture, like generally speaking, but Cameroon, doctor, yes. What else? Pilot. Go study abroad. That one works. Anything else? Why are you disgracing the family? So there was a time when I wrote all these medical exams because I wanted to be a doctor, and that did not work out. That's when around when I finished high school, 2007 to 2007. 2007. Who says that? Anyway, 2007, finished high school, went to college, and then did biochemistry because I studied sciences, even though I actually really wanted to do the arts. But that did not work out. So 2011, the advice I was giving myself was to write more because when I got into journalism school and I started my blog, I really discovered that I wanted to write. And this has evolved now into wanting to tell stories, whether it's screenwriting, whatever it is, and other things, poetry, blog posts, podcasts. I did not know how much I loved to do it until I started doing it. And the cool thing too, when I look back, is how unafraid I was. I think right now I'm trying to get back to that place where I feel less fear about my writing. Like I'm very skeptical about the things that I say because I get very sensitive when I'm writing about other people. Like I'm fine writing about me. I can write about me all day long. I don't care if it's, I don't know, maybe selfish, maybe it's, I don't know, have issues. I don't know. But what happens is when my story involves another person, I always try to paint them in a good light. And the difficulty that I'm facing now, that I'm seeing that I have to gain new skill for me is being able to tell the truth, not necessarily in a balanced way, but more in an honest way that leaves no room for bias. Even though as a human being I'm biased. It's like a monumental task that I'm undertaken to do to write about my feelings involving another person without necessarily painting them as an evil person, even though I personally think that some of the things that they did were evil. Does that make any sense? Please let me know if this makes sense because I feel like I'm just spewing nonsense. If you're watching this live stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're getting close to 4K. And I feel guilty that 4,000 people have clicked the subscribe button and I'm dealing with my personal life so I cannot post videos. I don't know if I feel guilty or if I'm just making that joke so they can feel pity for me, but I often think about the people who subscribe to the channel and I wonder if they're getting what they were expecting. I'm curious. Just subscribe to the channel. Let me know. What would you like to see? Have you seen what you want to see? Are you disappointed? Are you appointed? Are you happy? I can't make you happy, by the way. Just saying. Nobody can make any other person happy. But I feel like I'm not doing as much as I could. I know why. Like it's not just out of laziness. I know why, and I'm working on it. Yes, I think I see you now. Since it's not video, it'll be audio. I'm going to just put you in there and let me know. Abera, this is cool. Michael, finally we talk. Hello? I think your mic is muted, so.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, brother.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear you. I know you weren't feeling well a couple of weeks ago. You're back. This is awesome.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Why do you change it to the StreamYard?
No, I used what did I use? I've always used StreamYard actually. Always. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We lost Michael. No. Looks like are you back?
I'm back.
Okay. You asked why I use StreamYard?
Yeah.
No, I've always used StreamYard actually. Always.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was asking how you were doing today, and you did give advice to somebody who's junior. I know you're a medical doctor, right? I hope I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been practicing?
I've been practicing for 3.5 years.
Do you like it?
Yes, I like it. It's rewarding in a sense.
I thought I was going to be a doctor at some point in my life, but I realized I cannot handle the stress. So when you were telling this junior doctor to don't stress, what do you mean? Because I feel like medical education is just stress.
Yeah, but you get stressed, and when the things happen as they usually do,
Yeah.
then you look back and why I was stressed about this. You'll say, that's the common feeling you have after an exam, after even in medical practice,
Yeah.
generally things work out for the better. So uh, I mean, like we had like 50% of the class didn't graduate, but
Wow. That 50, like half of the class.
yeah, I think we were like
That's scary.
400,
Yeah.
and we graduated like 212 or something like
Okay, this is interesting because I'm thinking of the other people who did not graduate who will. Do you think even if they, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the people who did not graduate, and I'm wondering if don't stress would be advised that they would actually believe it because they're probably like, no, I did not stress enough. Maybe. Do you think that maybe it's because it's actually? I'm not contradicting what you said, right? And I feel like hindsight is always 2020, so we can look back and be like, oh, I wish this had been different. But I'm curious if it was not because of this stress that you're able to make it through, because you were thinking about it and you're always studying, I guess, all the time, that you were able to successfully complete and graduate. What do you think? Or what do you think? What do you think played a role in your success when you look back?
I think the I usually am disciplined in attending classes. So after I think the second year of school, I never I always attended classes. So I noticed that I'm like a visual and audio person. So more of the things I listen in the classroom are more retained. So I used that strategy in my sense.
Oh, okay.
And I used to, like, when there are exams, I
Yeah.
used to dedicate everything to the exams. So that's how it was. But
Okay.
there are two people who don't stress in medical school: the very smart and those who don't want to learn. So
Which one? Which one are you? Clearly, the very.
I'm somewhere in the middle, but I'm more dedicated. So usually my stress levels uh, are not, to the level of my uh, my, my achievement. So uh, I say, like, I might get more stress than people, but I would generally get better scores. So that's why I say don't stress, because I feel like I stress too much, like more than other people. That's why I say don't stress.
I see. Yeah, that makes so much sense because if you when you look back and you're like, oh, I wish I'd relaxed a little bit more, maybe your
Yeah.
experience would have been overall more enjoyable.
Yes.
But all in all, you've been able to make it, and I feel like it's one of those huge accomplishments in life that when you look back and see that you went through it, I feel like it probably fills you with a lot more confidence now to undertake bigger projects. So I
Yeah. Sorry.
that is yeah.
I'm actually taking this master's course right now
You see?
in counseling psychology, and I guess, like, it's funny to me when I take exams right now, like the med school
Are they,
exam.
are they easier now for you? Like, is it chill or is it the same level of stress?
No, there is no stress. Like, I don't even think about the exams right now, because, like, for the first 6 months in the course, I used to stress about the exams, but when I take the exams, they're
Yeah.
really simple. So,
Um,
in med school, there is a totally different approach to taking exams, or the teachers' approaches are different.
like how different are they?
Like, you have to memorize stuff, and
Ah,
they try to always trick you on the exams, like intentionally trick you. So
looks like it cuts across wherever you are in the world. That's what medical, I don't know, doctors who are lecturers do. It's like the same thing, similar in Cameroon. I think very similar in the US in the way that it's very. You have a lot of work in a very little amount of time, and you're supposed to just know all these things and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And I'm taking masters in psychology, so
Okay, yeah, you mentioned that. I thought I heard cosmetology and the psychology. Like, man,
counseling psychology actually.
why did you choose counseling psychology?
So I'm passionate about mental health, and I wanted to enter into psychiatry, but that opportunity did not happen right now. So in the meantime, I was trying to get some knowledge about the mental health field. So psychology is a better option. So
Nah,
that's why I'm learning that.
that is cool. I started doing a degree in psychology here in the US, and I dropped out after a few months because I cannot sit in class. I realized college is not going to work out for me at this stage in my life. Maybe later on when I'm older and I'm bored and I'll go to school, but right now, no, I cannot.
But
So
you read a lot, so why is that different?
because I feel like in school you have to go with the teacher's pace. So one thing that I experienced was I was ahead of the class and I tried to talk about something with the lecturer, and then it was like, all right, we're going to get there in 2 weeks or something. And then I was like, no, it's not. And it happened over time where I realized because we're stuck in a particular loop in a particular subject, I have to do just that. And I find that the way I learn, I'm very eclectic. So I can read this topic, read this other topic, and read this other one, and then mix them together, and it works for me.
Yeah,
And yeah, I just found it difficult, the structure and the organization of college, where I'm like, I can finish this in 1 week. Why do I have to take one semester to do it? It doesn't make sense to me. But
yeah.
I don't know.
You are not like a memorizer.
No, I find it very difficult to memorize. Even when I write my own poems that I have to perform, I don't know how to memorize. It's a skill that I think memorization is a skill, and my brain is finding it hard to learn it. So I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm also like that.
you,
That's why they don't understand like how I go through med school without
how did you
using
do it? How did you do it?
mnemonic or something. You know this mnemonics?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't find them even helpful, and I didn't use them. So they get confused. But my thing is like I can memorize a thing if I get the concept. If I get the concept, I don't need even to memorize it. So I try to get the concept of what they are saying in the medical books even. So that makes it easier. Like I don't want to think like okay, this mnemonic says or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I agree
I
with you.
yeah
I,
I understood that. Yeah.
yeah, I see we have that in common because for me, even when I read, I'm starting to enjoy reading now because I'm reading with a bigger purpose than I used. I used to read just for entertainment because I like books more than ever movies. And then now when I'm trying to learn some things and I read a book, I actually even pause and I'm trying to understand or picture the situation or see how I'm going to use it in the real world. And that helps me to be able to finish these thick books and still know what is there and still go back to it without feeling bad that I was wasting time. So what you mentioned about understanding the concepts, it reminds me even of a YouTube video that I was watching recently about how to study better. And this guy was talking about, he said, is it, I forgot, it's a 3 word phrase. Something precedes or precludes something else. Something precludes phenology. I forgot what it was. It's like a medical term that talks about the evolution of the egg is similar to the evolution of the human being, but that's something else. Anyway, Michael, do you have any questions for me? Anything that you might be curious about? Any advice, actually, comments, anything? I'm very excited that we're going to talk today. This is the first time that we're talking in real time, and you've been in the stream every single time that we've been streaming. And first, before you even ask your question, thank you for being here. I mean, you're a doctor, you're doing a master's, you don't have time to be wasting on internet watching people. So I think that you giving me your time it shows a lot about how much you like what I'm doing, and that is so much for me. So thank you for doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like your videos, so that's why I watch it. And like we don't really. There are things you get by chance. So your video about the Kursao led me to the channel. So I usually watch your videos,
Yeah.
even though I'm not from that part of Africa and I don't know the culture, but I try to educate myself also. Even like I think 2 days ago, I bought a book called uh, Kakawa and Chaos in Ghana.
Oh.
That was, that was inspired by your video, by the way.
That video has I've had very interesting comments to that video because I laughed at the accent of the Swiss president, and it's interesting the way the internet works because just an aside, I laugh at a lot of things people don't realize, but it feels like when you're coming online you're supposed to become a different person, and I don't know how to pretend that is not funny when it's funny to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm happy to hear that. It's like, I mean, now with the pandemic and people living at home, it's nice to be able to connect with people through technology somehow. Call them more parasocial relationships, but I'm grateful for that. So yeah, it's really nice, honestly, to be able to meet somebody in the comments, as we say, and then connect and talk. Like I've had some friendships with people that I have never met, I may never meet, but we talk almost every single day. We play video games together. We just hang out and just chat. And I think that's, since everybody's isolated now, particularly for me, it helps me a lot to not feel so alone and lonely in one place. I don't know if that makes sense. Because, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Like when I was like isolating due to the COVID,
Yeah.
I used to find like online or Instagram was my go-to thing to like to get my mind off the things that are happening. So I think social media in a way is a positive thing. Sometimes you
Yeah.
can never feel really alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
especially
powerful.
when you're watching like YouTube live videos,
Yeah.
especially with multiple people having a conversation, you feel like you are in the room, so you don't really feel.
Alone. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have to
so
thank Ade. I am African. He was here earlier, and he's the one who actually reminded me to invite my viewers to have a conversation. And I was like, why did this not come to my mind? Then I remember that I actually did in the beginning, but very few, I did not push it hard enough, I guess. I did not get people to, hey, come on, let's talk. And I like this even more than me sitting here and thinking that I'm too smart. So it's,
I was gonna ask you something.
yeah, of course.
Do you have a book club?
I don't have a book club. I have thought about a book club, and the amount of work that is required, I think I put it on the side because I'm like, if I'm going to do a book club, it has to be something that is sort of to my. I think I'm justifying my excuses, but let me justify it in a good way. I think that if I'm going to do a book club, I want to have value upfront for the people who join. And so I was thinking, a weekly book club, and I discovered that what I want to do is a monthly book club where it's 12 books a year, one book per month, where people can actually really digest the book and talk about it and have conversations like this about the content and use the information. So with everything that I have on my plate right now, I haven't been able to start one, but I would definitely be more than willing to join one and just be a participant if it's something that you already have.
I don't know if you if you can join. We usually like the reaction of the Ethiopian. Ethiopians are not Africans or something. I'm from
Yeah,
Ethiopia.
yeah, okay,
So I have a book club that we
yeah,
have with friends, but we don't really use English strictly. So it might
okay.
be difficult for you to have a conversation.
That'll be so. I'll surely have this surprised look on my face the whole time. But yeah, why did you ask the question though? Do you think that it would be nice for me to have one, or did you want to suggest that I join yours?
No, I was thinking like you had a book review about the art of war,
Yeah.
and you are talking about books in your live stream. So
Have you seen
maybe
the comments in that other war? Have you gone through the comments to see people's
Uh,
reaction to my
I think I
review.
did, but I don't really remember right now.
Yeah, it's like the worst comments I've ever had on any video on YouTube. People
But
hate it.
but you try to I think critique some of some of the greatest book.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's on me. Who? I mean, nobody. No.
If even if it was legitimate, you lose that. It's like
Yeah.
I was thinking of right now, like criticizing Muhammad Ali or something. you know?
It's like he's not the greatest. Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny. I don't know how much time you have. I'll surely be wrapping the stream up soon, and maybe we'll definitely talk more. It's funny
It's like
how.
evening in our country, so
Okay.
that's why it's okay to get into the live streams because
Okay.
home and yeah.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
was thinking about how when I look at my older videos or my older articles, I used to feel bad a little bit about the things that I had said. But then when I look now with my perspective, it goes back to that whole topic of 10 years ago. I'm actually grateful that I made those videos because I can see where I was in my mindset and I can see the difference between where I am right now. And for me, that is so much, it's so good to be able to observe that progress because then I can anticipate and say, okay, if things are not working out now, maybe I'm not yet where I want to be, it's very possible that in 10 years or in 5 years or in 3 years, I can actually do something about it. So when I read some of those comments, I just laugh inside. I'm like, that person that you see on the video, that's not me anymore. Yeah, it looks like me, but I've changed so much.
Maybe you agree with some of them.
Yeah, I agree with some of the things, but most of the thing I was like, yeah, bro, don't say that. That's childish. That's ignorant.
Yeah.
That's very ignorant. Do you have any questions for me that you want me to bounce on?
Yeah, maybe I've tried. I don't know. Do you think like there are people who can't write? Like,
That's a
is,
very, very personal question.
yeah, is it like I have tried to write some things because you know, especially after the book club thing,
Yeah,
we had an inspiration like to write something about the books we read.
yeah.
So I was trying, but it was so difficult, and I kind of find myself right now like, am I incapable of writing some things? You know?
My thoughts went immediately to like, no, everybody can write. But then I needed to think about what does it actually mean to write, and different kinds of writing because somebody can tell you that they can write fictional stories very well. They can create worlds and talk about crazy things, but then when they want to write about the real world, they find themselves having very difficult time because they don't know how to structure their thoughts and talk about things that are real. And for some other people, it can be the reverse. They are good at talking about real things that happen, but they cannot make imaginary things. And so I think writing is both very simple, like, yeah, of course, anybody can take a pen and paper and start doing words. But it's also complex because there are different kinds of writing, different kinds of thoughts, different kinds of literary expressions. So I don't think it's a simple answer because it may just be that you're not good at the kind of writing that you're trying to do right now. Not like writing in general.
Yeah.
It may just be that okay, this particular form of maybe review writing because reviews are difficult. I myself, I mean, share a secret with you. The reason why I've had a hard time doing book reviews on my channel is because I feel that I'm inadequate when it comes to book reviews because they have a very specific format. The way my brain thinks about them. I've seen people do reviews and I like the way they do reviews. So I'm afraid that if I do my own reviews, it will not be good enough. So I keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and I never do it. And I know that I have to do it eventually. So I do think that everybody is capable of writing. There are
Okay.
books about writing, there are exercises, there are courses, there are all kinds of things. It's just you have to find your own way of expressing yourself because if you can talk, if you have ever told a story, then you can write. I think everybody can write. the thing is, we think about writing like is this special skill that is in a different part of your brain, and then you turn it on when you need to write, and then you turn it off when you're talking to people. But if you've ever told a story to anybody,
Yeah.
then you can write. It's just trying to use my hands to say something. It's just really
I
transforming. Yeah, getting that perspective of it's a story. If you can
Yeah.
tell a story, you can write a story. I don't think it's much different. I feel like there's this whole romantic perspective of writers that they have special skills, but I don't think that's the case. Honestly, I think you can write. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you are right. You gave me some insight to, to my problem. Like I'm trying to write like a writer, not like myself. that is,
That
that's
is that is a powerful point. That's a powerful
yeah,
point. And I think it's a skill, right? It's like they will put it this way, like the junior doctor asks you, or somebody tells you, can I be a doctor? And you're like,
yeah,
of course you can be a doctor, because you've been a doctor, you've seen doctors, you know them. But some other people will tell you, well, it depends. You want to be a family doctor? Do you want to be a cardiac specialist? Do you want to be this?
yeah.
Like, So I would love to read your writing because from a medical perspective, there's this guy. He's a doctor who writes about not just about medicine. I've forgotten his name, but he's a medical doctor who has written a bunch of books. So if he can do it, I think he
There are
can.
a lot of, especially psychiatrists, have a tendency to.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
There's this when you talk about psychiatry and psychology. There's this book that I always recommend. Victor is in the building. There's this book that I always recommend. It's The Defining Decade by Dr. Meg J. I don't know if you've come across her TED Talk. She gave a TED Talk about the defining decade, about why 20s are not the new 30s. I think you would enjoy it. She's a psychologist. She wrote a nonfiction book about that space of being in your 20 somethings, like from 20 to 29. And she talks about the lessons that people should keep in mind, the things that they can do to improve their chances of having better lives, better relationships, better work opportunities. And when you hear her talk, like TED Talk, you're like, wow. And one thing people don't realize about people who do TED Talks is that they practice, they're taught how to tell those stories. So summary is if you can learn how to do something, you can learn how to write. So please write. Please, we need more writers in the world, especially from the continent, because we have so many stories. So many.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like Africa is not even yet discovered.
And I could see there's so much when I talk with my friends in Cameroon and I'm like, why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing this? Then I realize that maybe that's what God wants me to do. He wants me to figure out how to do it. And that's my own part that I have to do it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah. And I mean just think of how many African psychologists do you know yourself or clinical therapists? Like mental health field is still getting a new wave. And we need people who understand the context of being African and being able to deal with these mental health illnesses. I'm not saying that people who are not African don't get it, but I feel like, and let me know if you think what your perspective is on this. I feel like when you're born and raised on the continent and you study mental health and psychology, the way you approach it and the way you express it, it's different because you have the context of people that you'll be dealing with. And I wonder if I'm just biased because I feel like you have to be born somewhere to know about the place, or as a doctor, what is your perspective on you need to have having a context, not that you need to, but having the context of a person helps you to be able to help them better.
Yes, I think that's crucial. You have to know your society to really know it, like not from books or something. You have to grow up in it to understand what's going on. So uh, I was kind of studying for the US and something, but uh, then I said if I go to the US, I cannot understand the patients, the work. So I should really stick to my country and should try to further the struggle against mental health, because we have like right now we have like 100 psychiatrists, less than 100 psychiatrists
Wow, in the whole
for,
country?
for 10 million people. So,
Less than 1 per million.
yes.
Okay.
So that's the idea, and you are right. Like you don't really know a society if you haven't lived in it. At least at least a year, maybe enough for you to understand.
Yeah. Man. Michael, this I'm sure we can talk for hours, and I would love to have you back to really talk with just you. I have a podcast that I've stopped doing. I usually take like 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes to talk to people about their journeys in their lives, and I'm sure that we'll definitely have to connect and talk more. And I want to find out if you have any, I don't say any last word. Whenever I use the phrase last word, it sounds like somebody's about to go and die. Like, do you have any, any anything you want to leave us with before we end the stream?
Yeah, I like the topics you raise, and I like having conversations like this. Maybe you should do some kind of a mix between the two, so we can get your point of view,
Yeah,
and we also have some relating conversations. So I think continue with your work.
yeah.
I hope it's fun for you as it's fun for us.
Definitely, when I interact, it's way more fun. And the reason why, like, the kind of videos that I like to make, if you look at my older videos, they're very in depth, very mental. Like, they're very, mental sounds crazy, very intellectual.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's, oh yeah, somebody was asking the question. Victor, I'm going to clarify in just a moment, so we're ending the stream. But I also realized that I just need to do more videos. It's really it. Like I can make more videos and have more perspectives and interact more with the people. So I'm definitely enjoying it. Thing too about YouTube is that YouTube is, unless it's your full-time job, it's almost independent of life. Like I start my own day job in like 30 something minutes. I have my own health. Like there's all these things that are independent of YouTube that YouTube for me serves a purpose of being able to connect, interact, and then potentially grow into something that I want to do. But if I had it my way, I would do just videos. Like if I could choose, do you want to have a day job or make videos and get paid for it? I would definitely do videos. So yes, I'm having a lot of fun meeting people, sharing ideas, bouncing ideas, and yeah,
yeah. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. You're
For,
welcome. Thank you very much.
okay. Bye.
Bye. Talk to you soon. And that was Michael AB. Michael, thank you again for hanging in here and talking. Like I miss on just thinking about your last question, like I miss this interaction with people. I'm an introvert, or I lean towards the introverted skill. So when I do this, I have to go and sit by myself. Most of my work is quiet and by myself, so I'm fine. And I really have a great time interacting with people and getting your perspective. So if not of Ade, I'm African, I would not have done this. So Ade, I'm grateful for your suggestion earlier about this. This has been very, 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 very good for me today. My cup of coffee is already cold because I've been having such a great time talking that I forgot to drink the coffee. But yeah, Victor, let me answer your question and then go back to recap the question that I'm African asked. So I started to listen for a few minutes before asking what is the discussion of the day. I guess about being a writer, just asking. So Victor, the topic was what would you tell yourself about yourself 10 years ago? So that was the topic, but it ended up becoming a really cool conversation from Ade, African, who is here. We're talking about perspective, we're talking about different things. So I have so many ideas now pouring in my brain that I need to adjust this. Liz, welcome to the stream. It's about to end. I'm about to start work in a few minutes, but thank you so much for hanging out. And I came in late. I came late because I slept at 2:30. I was having a fun time having a conversation in a clubhouse. If you're not on Clubhouse and you want to be on Clubhouse, message me on Instagram. I see some invites. We're talking about some really interesting topics. So I slept late thinking today was Thursday, that I'll sleep in. But I woke up at 9:15. And I had to do this. So the topic was, or is 10 years ago, what would you tell yourself about yourself? Like, if you could go back in time, if you could travel back, what would you say to yourself about yourself? And let me actually read some of the answers I had on Instagram since we're here. This is, I'll extend this a little bit. Oh, I'm supposed to call B in 30 minutes. This is past 30 minutes. All right, I want to end the stream soon. Let me just read some of the responses I got. So the first one was from my friend. I'm not going to give their names. I'm just going to read. So the question I asked, hey, Liz, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Liz, give me a super chat. I keep forgetting that I actually have super chats activated here. Thank you. It's, we need to talk, Liz. We need to talk, like have a conversation. I feel like a lot of things have been happening and we haven't catch up on. So thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. You can support the channel directly through a super chat, or you can subscribe on Patreon, where we have a small gang that I'm still building. It's not as active as I would like it to be, but I like it. I have great plans for it. So this is awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. I asked a question on Instagram. What was the question? Let me see. What's this? What's something you wish you knew about yourself 10 years ago? So today that I converted that question to something else on YouTube, and the question was, one answer was that I'm able to be graceful and strong. See, don't reblur your glasses, it's not a good idea. That I'm able to be graceful and strong, that I was confident but just didn't know. Another answer was how to go about handling my confidence, that I always knew myself but never trusted me. And then another one was, life is easy if you take one step at a time. Be patient and live those happy moments. That's actually it. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. My friend Sugar said that I am good at business. That's what she wished she knew 10 years ago. And Ed says, I wish I knew I had control over my path in life. So these are the comments that I got from people who answered there, and I decided to just make a topic to talk about it. So I had a conversation with African, I had a conversation with Michael. Michael really gave some gems. Looking forward to the book club and your writing. Yes. So I started the stream late. It's been more than an hour. And I've had a super chat from Liz. Liz, I appreciate that. It's I haven't been able to publish videos since you're here. Let me just give you a secret. I haven't been able to publish many videos because I'm dealing with stuff. But I'm getting to a place where I'm feeling much better about it. And I also want to get a new camera. So when people like Liz are sending me super chats, it's like, yes, finally, I'm able to save, I'm able to get this camera, I'm able to make the videos I want to make. But yeah, it's been a fun time hanging out here. We have to get ready for work now. And yeah, Victor, you came in a little bit late. It's the end of the stream. I don't know if I should make the stream later. It's not going to work because I work on Friday, so I cannot do that. But it was fun. You can always watch the replay. You can always like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to 4K views. I'm getting excited now because of the energy that I got from Michael and Ade. And so during our live streams from next Friday, the conversations are going to be open. You'll be able to join in, you'll be able to talk, you'll be able to chat in. Yeah, so pop in next Friday, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. I hope it's not going to be late this time. And let's talk, all right? You have a good day, you have a good evening. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching up to this point. It's been 1 hour and 12 minutes, 13 minutes. So yeah, it's been fun, really fun. I'm grateful to have you. Liz, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. It's been a while. It definitely has. I'm African. Thank you for the suggestion. And I mean, you already said my pleasure, so thank you again. Very good day to you all. I hope I'm not late. You're late, Victor. To answer your question, how can one become better at writing? Man, that is, I think this will be the topic for the next stream. Yeah, because if I start now, I'll not finish. Let's do it next Friday. Let's talk about writing. Let's talk about improving our writing. Let's talk about the creative process. Yes, let's do that next Friday. Same here. Yes, catch you soon, Liz. So next Friday, we'll talk about writing. We'll answer your question, African. How can one be better writing? Yes, let's do it on Friday. Michael, thank you for hopping in on the call on StreamYard and talking with me. It's been fun. I know what you mean. Me too. That's what I got. Yeah. Rest, and do what you can. I couldn't even work. You're very courageous. I couldn't. I had to take some time off from work. I couldn't. I couldn't. Yeah. Now I don't want to leave, but I have to leave. We've been talking for too long. See you next time. Bye. Remember, always remember, do your best. Let God take care of the rest. And once there's life, there's hope. Yeah.